Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and I don't know why, but the grass looks crazy today. But anyways, today we are talking about the Tsunami clones that you can buy. So we have there the Baliplus Tsunami, the Armed Shark Tsunami as well, you know, classic. And we're also going to be talking about the TheOne Tsunami, although I don't have an example here. But as one of the few people who have, been fortunate enough to try all three, and I've also tried with and without the DI blade, which, by the way, small little thing, just a disclaimer, I got new hardware for this. Huge appreciation to, I think it's Sun X something T, something like that on Reddit. Really helpful guy. He's the guy who supplied the Orca clone, the V1 or the one, and the Telesto for the channel. Super awesome guy. And it's actually, I don't have a crazy tune on here, but it's actually kind of fixed. Not everything I had issues-wise with the blade here, with the DI blade. But it has fixed a lot of them. Like, just having good hardware, it really does make this much more usable as a, daily evil trainer. Or just balisong in general. It's really good blade steel as well. So I really do, recommend, it's VG something or something. It's some crazy blade steel. That's probably quite decent. But please excuse my neighbor's dog. But yeah, it's actually really, really good. But yeah, we're going to be comparing the three. Now, of course, the One's version is the cheapest, right? I believe followed by the Baliplus, then followed by the Armed Shark, which I believe is the most expensive, which is kind of crazy. However, I think it makes sense because from the way I would tier them is the Baliplus probably needs the most work to become the best. No. Yes. I don't know, because the One, I think if you want something that is just pick it up and you want a live blade, if you're thinking a trainer, I mean, just go for the Armed Shark. I don't think there's any reason to get the Baliplus trainer as opposed to the Armed Shark trainer. Just in my personal opinion, unless you really want... No, because even the DLC one is really cool. And I think that the DLC Tsunami that came out with Baliplus recently is really cool as well. But if you want something that's just a trainer, just go for the Armed Shark. So we're going to be talking about the live blade experience, or even the live blade trainer experience with the Armed Shark as well. If you're not trying to get a DI blade or, aftermarket blade for one of these guys, whether that be the Baliplus blade or the DI blade or something like that. We're just going to be trying out the Armed Shark here. And it's, for this video, it's got a DI blade just for, comparison's sake. But I'll also be talking about the trainer itself. I think the Armed Shark is an absolutely splendid, out-of-the-box experience. You can take a look at my Armed Shark unboxing video, and, I was blown away that, this is a clone of a balisong that exists, and it is as good as it is. It's bouncier than this. Is it? Yeah, it's a little bouncier than this, right, the trainer blade, and it's quite quiet. It's really comfortable in the hands. This is probably my most flipped balisong in total. You can see I didn't baby it either. I took this thing everywhere, and probably I'll end up converting it to the trainer just to have a trainer that I can carry in public. Simply because that's something I would love to have. Just a good high-quality trainer that doesn't need very much maintenance whatsoever. However, I think that the Baliplus offering, whereas requiring actually a little bit more work, because out of the box, personally, the balance on the Baliplus is more preferable for me. That was the biggest problem I ever had with the Armed Shark, is the balance simply just, it wasn't there for me. However, now that I've put in a little bit of work, which comes in the form of tuning, which is only time really spent, not necessarily money, although I guess if you don't have any sandpaper at home, it would be money as well. But I've also gone and swapped this onto stainless steel washers, as you can see, and you can hear it. So there's a cute baby in the background. But you can hear, this thing sounds absolutely phenomenal. This is, I'm not going to say it's my favourite balisong, but it's really up there. It's probably my tied favourite balisong, alongside my Seraph. This thing really does flip. I'm not sure if it flips anything like a real Tsunami, although comparing it to my Seraph, it really does. Not to say, oh my goodness, not to say that it flips like a Seraph, but in terms of it's in that kind of same upper echelon of really, really well-made balisongs. There are little things that you can see are a bit different, like the quality control and stuff. My tolerances on here, they are not immaculate. It's got a bit more play than my Seraph, but that's simply just because, tuning by hand ends up leading to less consistent results than tuning like with a bushing lap or, oh my goodness, it's cold out here, so I apologise for the immense dropping of this. But, you know, whew, I guess I really haven't flipped this thing in quite a while, which I guess makes it less plausible that it's my favourite. But it really is the kind of do-it-all kind of barrel song, really, the Tsunami in general. Now, when it comes to the One's offering, it is pinsless, it is channel. It will probably last longer. When it comes to the pins, the weight pins in this guy are usable as Zen pins, which is a huge saving grace, which is one of my biggest gripes with the Armed Shark, is I'm fairly certain the weight pins cannot be used as Zen pins. The Zen pins are slightly smaller or slightly bigger. One of those two, I can't remember. I think it's slightly bigger, actually. And so the Zen pins you get with this, if they don't, you know, if you flip them around and they don't make it something that you're happy with, well, those children are something else, really. If they don't make it something you're happy with, it's kind of like, kind of kaput, really. And you're just kind of done for. But then again, Zen pins are fairly reliable. I've never had any problems with the Zen pins on this guy. But as when it comes to something like that, I can see that being something people worry about. You know, if you get like pressed in Zen pins, for example, I have a fairly small, fairly tight handle gap on this guy, which doesn't bother me. I think I mean, okay, maybe I'd prefer a slightly wider gap, but comparing it to this guy, you can see he's got a wider gap. And oh my goodness, this Tsunami really doesn't catch well on camera. Beautiful to the eyes, but not on camera. I think that this gap is almost slightly too big. And that gap's probably about perfect. Whereas this gap, you know, enclosed is probably a bit too small. It's probably a bit too small in both open and closed. But if you play around with Zen pins, I'm sure you can find some that will work. But obviously the gap changes from barrel song to barrel song. I think the gaps on my sandblasted one are slightly bigger. So it's probably just my unit. You know, I have one of those first production polished ones. The second production, I'm sure, will be better quality control. But the the Baliplus stock washers don't allow you to get a fantastic tune. They allow you to get a pretty good tune, but nothing that's like this level, really. Although they are still going to be very bouncy. Now it comes to the One, which is the biggest one that I've been kind of only hinting at. I think it's a fantastic offering. If you're on a budget, it's probably the one to go for, or if you just want like a really, really pretty anodization job. I just really like the silver with purple, sorry. I think it's an absolutely fantastical colour. I also really like the silver with blue. And that's why I've decided not to kind of change anything about my Balsong colorways. But in terms of this guy here, I would say I would buy this over the... Oh my goodness, the dog. I would buy this over the One model, simply because the One may be grippier and a bit more durable due to its pinsless nature, and it does have a really cool Damascus blade, which makes the balance like nigh perfect. It's a little bit blade bias with the Damascus, and it's very neutral with the stock blade. I think that this just looks better, to be honest, in my opinion, even dirtied up from the mud. You know, I think it just simply looks better, especially with the jewelling, which, by the way, the new Armed Shark products, I believe, have also added jewelling in order to complete with Baliplus, which is just, like, phenomenal. New Armed Shark Tsunamis will have jewelling on them, which is, like... Do you know what I mean? But otherwise, I don't really see a reason anymore to buy the One, because it comes with T8 hardware, which isn't great, and it's not standard size. This comes with standard size hardware. The Armed Shark doesn't come with standard size. It comes with like metric. It's like literally 0.002 inches bigger than like a regular Balsong pivot or whatever. But it means the bushings don't work, and it's like absolute nightmare to find hardware that fit. Machine-wise hardware fits in it perfectly fine, but like Squid hardware doesn't. And Machine-wise bushings fit over the Armed Shark hardware perfectly fine, but Squid bushings don't. So it's like a big toss and turn as opposed to what really does fit and what doesn't. But at least that means that both the Armed Shark and the Baliplus are able to accept T15 hardware if you wish to upgrade your Balsongs to that at any point. Whereas the One, I mean, I would suggest get aftermarket screws for it and kind of leave it. Especially with the floating washer system, I cannot justify it. Fork up the extra 10, 15 pounds or dollars, whatever it is, for at least the Baliplus, if not the Armed Shark. If you just want a trainer, go for the Armed Shark. I wouldn't even suggest the Baliplus, to be honest. The Armed Shark is more than likely than not to come with great tolerances, you know, very minimal play, and just a great overall out-the-box experience. It comes with great tools to adjust the balisong, better ones than Baliplus supply you. The box is nice. The packaging it's all just a really, really complete package with Armshark, other than they don't offer a bladed option, right, which is obviously what we have here. Which it's not like Sharp. YouTube, don't demonetize me, please. But other than that, what would I recommend? For me personally, I'm going to go with the Baliplus all day, every day, to the point where I'm contemplating selling this dude, because it's like, but yeah, no. This guy, for me, is a fantastic balisong. I think it's the best trainer on the market still. And really the only things that compete with the Armshark or the Tsunami clones, I should say, because I still think that the TheOne Tsunami is a real top-tier clone. I think the only things really up there, excluding the Bali X stuff, which is really good, would have to be probably the WZM Cygnus, which flips eerily similar to a real Cygnus. And other than that, I don't really know if there's anything I can say that really competes with like this and the Baliplus one. Actually, the Orca does. The Orca is also quite a splendid balisong. But yeah, for me personally, it's this guy here. I take care of this quite well. I'm loving it on stainless. I wish it was a bit bouncier, but I think that's just my tune. I almost undersized the bushing, and I do not want to tune another one because it takes forever, because obviously the Tsunami blade is slightly thinner than your standard size blade, so you have to really, really, really tune a bushing if you don't have the stock ones. But yeah, I think it's just one bushing on this guy that I'm just like a little bit less than happy with. But otherwise, this is a perfect balisong for me, more or less. I have no weights. I don't run any weights. Love the dueling. It plays in the light absolutely splendidly, and you can see it just looks fantastic, especially with like the purple kind of dancing around near the middle and the ends of the handles, especially around the middle where your fingers kind of stay. I love these two pivots. This purple color. They just look absolutely stunning. And to be honest, I should probably swap that and that. But I doubt that's going to be a male screw and that's a female pivot. So, oh well. Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. I also find this does like reverse palm fans much better than anything else I own, which is like really great. Maybe fighting with the Gaboon. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.